Hey, give me a cold one.
Hey, Tang, take a cold one.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of the Game and Dance.
Game and Dance, yeah.
Thank you again for stopping by. We really appreciate all your support. Please go down there, hit that thumbs up like button, subscribe to our channel so we can help grow and become the new face of your YouTube life.
YouTube life, baby. Yeah. All right. Today, my good people, we are talking about all the 9.1 magical goodness. We have some wonderful quality of life items finally coming into existence. So without further ado, here we present the magical ripcord 9.1.5 patch, baby. First up, legendary scrapping.
You heard him right, ladies and gentlemen. He said legendary scrapping. This just hit the patch notes about 13 hours ago, so hopefully we are the first ones to let you guys know about it if you haven't known already. So we gave you kind of insight. They were looking at it. They did fully bring it into testing, and supposedly you get full refund for your legendary. Okay, so that means all the soul ash, all the soul cinders, you get all back. Will, however, still be without your gold. But first off, I don't agree with this 100%. I think you should get half or like 3/4, or I feel like you should work hard for it. If you, it just allows people to nonstop be switching their legendaries. So essentially, you'll never go on a Torghast again if you have any kind of legendaries, which a lot of
Which
people.
I am looking forward to. Thank God. Thank God. I am so tired of Torghast. So tired. Okay. And you touched on this for a brief second. It says it's a full refund. It's not a full refund. Where's my 300,000 gold I spent to make that thing? That gold ain't getting refunded. Thank God the currency is, but the gold ain't. All right. And you know, you might disagree, dude, but this has been clamored and screamed and demanded by the community. And we were talking about this earlier. On my DH, I made a whole new legendary because surely my chest that needs to be Dom socket that my legendary was on, surely that wasn't going to stay the best legendary. But I was wrong, and it is, so I had to completely remake it again. So I have like 6 or 7 legendaries on my DH right now. So for me, the question is this going to be retroactive? Can I go refund all my legendaries and then just craft 2 or 3 brand new ones to fit any situation? Or is this only going to be, oh, well, if you make a new legendary, then you get the refund when the patch comes out? Because if that's the case, why the hell did you even put this in? I don't care. Like, why?
Yeah, he's basically what he's saying is all the legendaries you crafted before this last patch, if you can't scrap those, and this is just like now you can scrap after this comes out, it's kind of pointless. So yeah, it'll be definitely in the weekly bullshit if it's not retroactive. So if you can't scrap legendaries that you made of old, because I was an idiot and I thought I wanted to go healing paladin and I crafted a healing legendary and then realized for the 30th time that I'm not going to heal. If I can't scrap that, then this, in my opinion, this is useless.
I just keep telling you, you're not gonna heal, and now you got, I'm gonna tank. You ain't gonna tank either.
Oh my God!
Just stop it.
Moving on from this debate, let's look into some content from what that we both think is interesting, and what you think was the best expansion. We got some Legion Time Walking Dungeons.
Legion Time Walking Dungeons, baby. I definitely do think it was the best expansion. I understand the argument for Wrath being the best expansion, but you are wrong, sir. Legion was the best. The dungeons that we will be able to play will be Blackrook Hold, Eye of Ajara, Darkheart Thicket, Vault of the Wardens, Netherian's Lair, Court of Stars. Now, some really cool points about this is when it is Legion Team Walking Week, you can trade your Keystone into an NPC in Ouroboros, and it will give you a time-worn keystone, allowing you to run Legion Time Walking. That counts for your vault, sir. It counts towards your weekly vault. It will have different affixes by different affixes, I'm meaning they're just gonna go with Legion affixes probably, and not try to do anything cool or fancy because it is Blizzard we're talking about after all. But it will count towards your vault, and it will be equal item level to Shadowlands Mythic Plus, and you can upgrade the loot with Valor.
I mean, this opens up a whole array of possible new best in slots. I mean, with trinkets and stuff like that. So I like it. I would assume you won't get a weapon. This is just assumptions, but we had legendary weapons then, so it's a good possibility that they won't be put in there unless they just kind of throw in some weapons off the cuff. But I don't think they put that much into it. But I think it's great. Every couple months, instead of doing the normal Mythic Pluses, you can do Legion Mythic Pluses when the Legion Time Walking is up. I think that's pretty cool.
And if this goes well, then every Time Walking week for every expansion, they'll do this for now.
That's a good possibility. And then you might have some sick ass trinkets that you'll be using from those,
For sure.
So interesting. All right. Next up, the Aoe Cap has been removed. Thank Jeebus. All right.
Thank you, Jeebus.
But don't get too excited. There's a catch to this, right? You're a warrior, and you're rocking your 2 giant ass axes, right? And you are whirlwinding your face off. You hit all characters, but at a reduced damage. Okay, so you can hit them all, but it's reduced. All right, so the exact reference from it is players often refer to these changes as AoE tap, target cap. Our intention was to reduce the effectiveness of burst AoE buttons against large target counts, i.e. 15 to 20 enemies, while also increasing their effectiveness against fewer targets, i.e. 3 to 5 enemies, and communicating that strength clearly in the tooltips. Okay, so I like this because if there's 20 mobs around me and I'm whirlwinding, or if I'm multi-shotting, or whatever character I'm playing, because I have multiple tunes, I want to see numbers flying up everywhere, right? It feels pretty bad when there's a group of 20 and I shoot a multi-shot and only 5 numbers come up, because I'm like, dude, I hit every single one of those. I saw all the arrows, but it didn't actually register as hits.
And speaking of feeling bad, I would say one of the biggest things that has happened because of the cap, and it still is a cap, right? It's just a soft cap now instead of a hard cap, is if you've noticed, ever since they took this away at the end of last tier, Demon Hunters, Warriors, all these other classes now, you never see them at the top. I mean, it happens. There are exceptions. I'm not trying to argue with you, but for the most part, never.
And they're not part of the so-called meta, right? So, I mean, you have druids and you have mages and stuff like that where they don't have as small of a target cap.
This should definitely help. And it's like melee is already penalized 100%. Enough. Like, what happened to you when you came into melee for like 2 pulls as a tank the other night?
I was knocked off the side like 5 times because I didn't realize that everything has a knockback in there. So
knockback, stuns, kills. It's terrible in melee.
Pretty crazy.
So that's pretty awesome that they're giving us a soft cap on AoE now. They say it's removed, but I feel like they just give us a soft cap instead of a hard cap.
Which I'm cool with. I'm cool with that.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Next up, we've got covenant swapping. So if you don't know, prior to the patch, you had to do a crap ton of dailies in the zone and the dungeons just to switch your covenant. And then if you wanted to switch it again, instead of doing it in a day or 2, you had a week or 2 of work. This has been a huge sought after change. It's one that they said they could never do. An exact quote from Blizzard is, when it comes to the limitations on covenant switching, millions of players experience Shadowlands for the first time through the lens of their covenant of choice, and that would have not been possible had the choice carried less weight from the outset. Nevertheless, blah blah blah, we made the decision for the right reason. No, you didn't. You did it to slow people down and stop people from min-maxing. Just tell the truth. As long as you get to a high enough renown now, you're supposed to be able to just go talk to someone and swap. You're supposed to be able to wear all your transmog from different covenants, not even in it. Ride all your mounts while not in it. Like we said, the magical patch. So...
yeah, this is good, right? So, like, you have mages. Night Fae is good for some. Frost uses Venthyr. So I think it's really nice for them if they want to switch classes I'm sorry, Swiss specs. It's just definitely a good quality of life. I accidentally, like a moron, changed my covenant when I was doing the little quest. You had to talk to the little the Bastion chick, and I clicked the wrong thing, and it even said, "Are you sure?" But I was like, "Mid conversation." I was like, "Yeah, why not?" And I clicked it, and boom, my covenant switched on my druid because I was dumb and not really reading. I was trying to.
Wasn't that like on a Tuesday too?
So
you had to wait.
And we were
like...
gonna run normal. We were gonna run normal. I was like, "This is my alt. This will be great." I get normal. No, it was a pain. So, but what you had to do if you haven't switched covenants is it gives you like a little bar. You fill the bar by doing quests in the zone. Or doing those dungeons in the zone to be a part of that covenant, right? And then if you want to switch back, you have to do it 2 weeks in a row, right? So it was a horrible idea. So, and it was all about loyalty. Man, if we haven't shown loyalty now to these covenants, like, I don't know what we need to do. So,
yeah,
smaller things.
The definite things with the covenants, like when we started, there were no civil wars in the covenants.
Nope.
You know, there were no leaders killing people, and we still couldn't switch. But now there's literal civil wars, constant conflict, constant problems. We've had to remake seals. Oh, now you can switch. We better be able to. Shoot.
All right. So, some other small things that they added, some character customizations to include the addition of the for Alliance members. You can make your Void Elves look like High Elves. So it kind of adds to that little fantasy.
This is actually pretty huge. There's a huge there's a huge amount of people that want this. Void Elves were definitely the new Blood Elves on Alliance. Like it's
for sure.
It's been coming for a long time. Also, the Lightforged Draenei customization options. You know, before that holy expansion we've been talking about. So.
So some heirlooms are being upgraded. The Maw intro is finally skippable on your alts,
which is huge. Thank God.
Huge. Right?
It's a little late because I'm not making another fucking alt, but you know.
Hey, I make alts all the time, so I'll probably level my road next. We'll see what happens. Conduit energy has been removed. That'll be number 7, yes sir. So conduit energy has finally been removed. You can just switch in and out your conduits freely as you see fit, which should have been like that since day one. A lot of people were screaming and bitching and moaning about this. They never found it to be a big problem, but it was a problem. So, especially for those multi-classes, right? So we need a healer to go damage. Okay, cool. Hey, we don't need a healer for this fight. Go back to damage, not heal. Well, they only have so many conduits they get switched.
I really hope that you can swap those in the raid. Because if they still have to go back to their covenant, dude, that's going to be a pain.
I think you can with a tome. I'm pretty sure.
Good. You need to be able to. Solo island expeditions are coming out. Obviously, this is for people to go back and farm mounts and pets
and warfights.
Like, you must hate your life to go do solo expeditions. Like, oh my god, dude, that's gonna be Torghast next expansion. Like, you can go and solo Torghast. Who the crap wants to? What are you gonna stab yourself in the eye? Anyways, guys, this has been our wonderful, amazing, magical, everything we ever wanted ripcord patch. A lot of big changes, a lot of things that they've been talking about. It strikes me of what Preach said before he quit WoW. He was like, what am I gonna do? Just sit here for the next year and bitch and moan and complain till I slowly do the things I said I wanted done a year ago. So I know some people were trying to make the argument that they think this is a shift in Blizzard's design philosophy. I clearly don't agree with that. I think this is an old shit. We got 1 million people playing the game. We really need to give some people stuff they want.
100%, yeah.
Time will tell, though. Time will tell. And I think that's going to wrap it up for us, buddy. What do you think?
Sounds great, my man.
And with that, Gaming Dads out.